Right now, while you're watching this video, your dog might be quietly suffering from something you can't see yet. And here's the scary reality. According to veterinary researchers, dogs instinctively hide pain as a survival instinct, a behavior hardwired into them from the wild. By the time most pet owners notice something is wrong, their dog may have been dealing with that pain for days, weeks, or even longer. It's subtle, it's easy to miss, and millions of pet owners every single year don't realize what's happening until the problem has already become serious. But by the end of this video, you'll know the 10 warning signs your dog is secretly in pain, what each of those signs means for your dog's health, and exactly what you should do to protect them. So make sure you stay until the very end, because sign number 7 surprises almost every pet owner I share it with, and it's one of the most commonly misunderstood signals your dog can give you. Let's get into it. If you're new here, welcome to Pet Help. My name is Elizabeth, and this channel exists for one reason, because your pet can't tell you when something is wrong. And every single pet owner deserves someone in their corner who can help them understand what their pet may be trying to say, clearly, honestly, and without all the confusing medical language. Here on Pet Help, we talk about real pet health topics. No complicated terminology, no overwhelming jargon, just clear, honest information you can use to help your pet live a longer, healthier, happier life. We post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If that sounds like something your pet deserves, hit that subscribe button right now and tap the bell icon so you never miss a video. Okay? Let's get into today's topic because this one is important. So let's dive straight in, because this is something every dog owner needs to understand. Before we get into the warning signs themselves, I want to take just a moment to explain why this matters so much. Because once you understand the reason dogs hide their pain, everything else we're about to cover will suddenly make a lot more sense. Here's what most pet owners don't realize. Dogs are hardwired by their ancient survival instincts to hide when they're hurting. According to veterinary pain researchers, this behavior goes all the way back to your dog's wild ancestors. In the wild, showing weakness, showing pain, could mean being attacked by a predator or pushed out of the pack. So animals learn to mask it, to carry on, to act as normally as possible. And here's the important part. That instinct didn't disappear when dogs were domesticated. Your sweet, loving dog, the one curled up next to you on the couch, still has that ancient drive to hide weakness from the world. Which means your dog might be quietly dealing with real pain right now, and they are doing everything they can to make sure you don't notice. That's why knowing what to look for matters so much, because the signs are there. They're just subtle. And once you know what you're looking for, you'll be able to catch them early, before a small problem becomes a much bigger one. Let's start with one of the most overlooked signs of all, a change in your dog's energy level. Now, every dog has an off day. We all do. But here's the difference. If your dog is suddenly less interested in walks, less excited about playtime, or seems to run out of energy much faster than usual, and that change has lasted more than a day or two, that's a signal worth paying attention to. Pain from any source, a joint, an internal issue, even a dental infection, can cause your dog's normal activity level to drop noticeably. Your dog isn't being lazy. They might be protecting themselves from discomfort they can't explain to you. When does it become serious? If the decrease in activity lasts more than 2 to 3 days with no obvious explanation, like extreme heat or a recent vaccine, contact your vet. Restlessness and inability to get comfortable. Here's something that might surprise you. Pain doesn't always make dogs still. Sometimes it makes them restless. If you notice your dog constantly shifting positions, pacing at night, getting up and lying back down repeatedly, or sleeping in unusual spots or unusual positions, they may be in pain. This is especially common with joint pain, arthritis, or abdominal discomfort. The dog is desperately trying to find a position where it hurts less. And when they can't find one, the pacing continues. If your dog suddenly seems like they just cannot settle, and especially if it happens at night when the house is quiet, take note. That's your dog telling you something is uncomfortable. Changes in posture or gait. This one can range from obvious to extremely subtle, and the subtle version is the one that gets missed most often. The obvious sign? Limping. That's hard to miss. But here's what often goes unnoticed: a dog that holds their head slightly lower than normal, a hunched back or a slightly tucked belly, a dog that's stiff when they first get up from resting, but then seems to walk it off, an unsteady or wobbly gait that wasn't there before. According to Cornell University's Riney Canine Health Center, altered posture, like arching the back or carrying the head low, is one of the key physical indicators of pain in dogs. A hunched back can signal abdominal pain, conditions like pancreatitis, gastrointestinal issues, or back problems. Watch how your dog moves when they first wake up. That moment of stiffness right after rest is one of the clearest windows into how your dog's body is actually feeling, trembling or shaking. This one is especially easy to misread. Some small dog breeds seem to shiver all the time, and owners often assume it's just their personality or the cold. But trembling and shaking can be a direct response to pain or pain-induced anxiety. Dogs with arthritis will often tremble while standing because their muscles are working overtime to compensate for joint discomfort. You might also notice muscle twitching while they rest. This can be the body's response to lingering aches. If your dog is shaking and it's not cold, not exciting, and not a known characteristic of their breed, consider pain as a possible cause. It's worth a conversation with your vet. Increased vocalization. Your dog can't use words, but they can use their voice. Whimpering, whining, yelping when touched in a specific spot, excessive barking, or low growling that seems unusual for your dog. These are all vocalizations that can signal pain. Pay close attention when you touch your dog during normal petting or handling. If your dog flinches, yelps, turns their head sharply, or growls when you touch a particular area, that area likely hurts. According to veterinary pain assessment research from the Oregon Veterinary Medical Association, vocalizations like howling, whimpering, and growling are recognized behavioral signs of pain in dogs. The key here is to change. If your dog is suddenly more vocal than they normally are, that's a red flag. Irritability or behavioral changes. Here's a sign that breaks a lot of pet owners' hearts when they realize what it means. If your normally sweet, gentle, calm dog has suddenly become snappy, irritable, or even aggressive, and there's no obvious trigger for that change, pain is often the explanation. Think about this from your dog's perspective. They're hurting. They can't tell you, and every time you try to pet them or move them, it makes it worse. Of course, they're going to react. A dog in pain might also become withdrawn and reclusive, hiding under the bed, avoiding people and other animals, not wanting to be touched. This isn't a bad dog. This is a dog who is suffering and has no other way to communicate it. If your dog's personality has changed noticeably, please don't dismiss it. Personality shifts are one of the most reliable indicators that something is physically wrong. We're about halfway through, and I want to stop and ask you something directly. Has your dog ever shown any of these signs, and you weren't quite sure what it meant at the time? Maybe a few days of strange behavior. It was a little quieter than usual. Something seemed off, but you couldn't put your finger on it. Let me know in the comments right now. I read every single one. And if this video has been helpful so far, please take just 1 second and hit the like button. It genuinely helps other dog owners find this information when they need it most. Okay, let's keep going, because the next signs are the ones most people don't know about. Changes in appetite or eating habits. This is the sign I mentioned at the beginning, the one that surprises almost every pet owner. Most people think, my dog stopped eating because they're not feeling well. And yes, that's true. But here's what people often miss. The way your dog eats can change before they stop eating entirely. A dog with dental pain may suddenly avoid hard kibble or hard treats. They might drop food from their mouth, chew only on one side, or show a dramatic preference for soft food. A dog with arthritis or neck pain might be reluctant to bend their head all the way down to reach their food bowl, and their food intake drops simply because the position hurts. A dog with abdominal pain may eat small amounts and then stop, or show interest in food but then walk away. So if you notice your dog eating differently, not just less, but differently, that subtle change in behavior can be an early pain signal hiding in plain sight. Excessive grooming or licking of a specific area. Dogs naturally groom themselves, but when a dog licks, chews, or bites at the same spot on their body, that's not normal grooming. That's a dog trying to soothe a source of pain. It's one of the most instinctive behaviors animals have. The same reason you might rub a sore muscle without even thinking about it. Watch for persistent licking of a joint, especially knees, hips, or elbows, common with arthritis. Licking at the paws or between toes, which can signal a wound, infection, or nerve pain. Chewing at the belly or flank, which may suggest internal discomfort. If the licking is focused, repetitive, and directed at the same location day after day, something is going on under the surface. Rapid heart rate or heavy panting at rest. Here's one that gets dismissed constantly, and it shouldn't be. If your dog is panting heavily while just lying still, and they haven't been exercising, it's not hot, and they're not anxious about a specific event like a thunderstorm, that panting may be a pain response. Pain triggers the body's stress system. The heart rate rises, breathing speeds up, the body goes into a low-level alert state. According to Urgent Vet, any source of pain can increase a pet's heart and respiratory rate, and a dog panting while at rest is a recognized indicator of discomfort. You can also gently place your hand on your dog's chest and feel their heartbeat. If it seems unusually fast for no clear reason, that's worth noting and mentioning to your vet. Changes in bathroom habits. This last one is so easy to misinterpret. If your house-trained dog suddenly starts having accidents indoors, you might assume it's behavioral regression, old age, or stubbornness. But pain is one of the most common explanations, and it's often overlooked. Here's why this happens. A dog with arthritis may find the physical act of squatting to urinate or defecate extremely painful, so they avoid it, have accidents before reaching their spot, or can't hold it long enough to get outside. A dog with a urinary tract infection may feel constant urgency and burning pain. A dog in abdominal pain may show sudden changes in defecation, straining, constipation, or diarrhea. So before you scold your dog for an accident, ask yourself, is my dog in pain? The answer might change everything. Now, I want to share something important, because this is the part of the conversation that really puts everything into perspective. According to pain assessment research reviewed by the Oregon Veterinary Medical Association, animals, including dogs, are highly likely to attempt to hide pain because their ancient instincts still classify it as a sign of weakness. Cornell University's Riney Canine Health Center confirms that behavioral changes due to pain often develop gradually, which means by the time the signs become obvious to an owner, the pain may have already been present for some time. And a study published in the journal Frontiers in Veterinary Science on pain management in emergency veterinary settings found that approximately 38 of dogs evaluated in emergency settings were identified as being in pain, many of which had not been immediately recognized as painful by their owners before arriving at the clinic. That number should stop us in our tracks. More than a third of dogs seen in emergency settings were quietly carrying pain before anyone connected the dots. That's not because those owners didn't love their dogs. It's because dogs are built to hide it, and without knowing what to look for, it's almost impossible to see. But now you know what to look for. Here's the most important thing I want you to take away from this video. Many pet owners assume that if their dog is in pain, they'll know it. They expect crying. They expect limping. They expect their dog to show them in an obvious, unmistakable way. But the truth is this: most dogs in pain don't act dramatically. They act quietly, they slow down a little, they eat a bit differently, they stop jumping on the couch the way they used to. They sleep more, they pull away slightly when you touch a certain spot. And because these changes are gradual, because they happen over days and weeks, they're incredibly easy to rationalize away. He's just getting older. She's probably tired from the heat. He's been a bit off lately, probably just a phase. But often it isn't a phase, it's pain, and it's asking for your help. The single most powerful thing you can do for your dog is trust your gut. You know your dog better than anyone. If something feels different, if something feels off, act on that feeling. Call your vet. Get it checked. Early intervention is almost always better than waiting until the signs become impossible to ignore. Let's quickly recap what we covered today. Today we talked about 10 warning signs that your dog may be secretly in pain. 1. Decreased activity level, less energy, less enthusiasm. 2. Restlessness and inability to settle, constantly shifting, pacing, uncomfortable. 3. Changes in posture or gait, head low, hunched back, limping, stiffness. 4. Trembling or shaking, even at rest or while standing. 5. Increased vocalization, whimpering, yelping, growling when touched. 6. Irritability or behavioral changes, withdrawal, snapping, personality shifts. 7. Changes in appetite or eating habits, avoiding hard food, eating differently. 8. Excessive licking or grooming of one area, the body's self-soothing response. 9. Heavy panting or rapid heart rate at rest, the stress response to pain. 10. Changes in bathroom habits, accidents, straining, unusual patterns. And the most important takeaway from everything we covered today is this. Your dog is not going to walk up to you and tell you they're in pain, but they are giving you signals. Learning to recognize those signals is one of the most loving things you can do for your dog. If this video helped you better understand your dog, please take a moment to do 3 things. Subscribe so you never miss a new pet health video. Like this video, it helps other dog owners find this information when they need it most. Share it. Send it to a fellow dog owner who loves their pet. And if you have a question about your dog, or if you've seen any of these signs and want to share your experience, leave it in the comments below. I read every single one, and I do my best to respond. Remember, your pet can't tell you when something's wrong, but with the right knowledge, you can learn to listen in other ways. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your pets.